Hey, everybody, it's Sunday. Actually, it's, I think, a Tuesday. Tony and I are back one more time with our Monster Manual Jam. Are you ready?
I'm totally ready, Tom. I'll do it.
All right, so here's how the Monster Manual Jam works. It's a competition between me and Tony that I always lose. The idea is that we're going to pick a random monster. Tony is going to draw it one time in his amazing Tony way. I'm going to try to draw it 10 times in my way, which is really badly. And the question is, am I faster than Tony is talented? Or is Tony more, I don't know what it is, but we're going to find out in just a minute. But first we have to pick a random monster. Tony, would you tell the people at home how we pick a random monster?
Well, it turns out the original Monster Manual is roughly 100 pages long. So if we roll the percentile dice, Tom, it will determine what page we will pick. And then from there, depending on how many entries are on that page, we'll then roll a dice to determine which monster we will illustrate. And so far, we haven't really illustrated any monsters, just giant versions of normal animals. So let's
first week we had an ant, and the second week we had a ram.
Lots of giant.
But it was an ant, giant, and a ram, giant. So it did turn out fairly interesting.
The viewers at home can see one determines the 10 spot and one determines the single number spot. So here we go. I'm going to roll.
Okay.
And it's, can you see that?
It's not 81 again.
It's just one.
I don't even know if there's anything on.
What are the chances of getting that? I mean, if we were playing D&D now, the chances.
Oh, Tony, yes.
Are you excited? I think you're excited.
You see what we got on page 1?
We have two things: the aerial cerbit or the ankeg. Oh no, wait, no. Page 1 is the boule.
Yes.
That's all. There's no other choice. Page 1 of the Monster Manual is just the boule.
You know, another option would be that. Should we draw the boule?
I think the chances of rolling a 0-1 are so rare. They're 1 in 100, right? the fact that we
must be about 1 in a million, Tony.
The chances of rolling a 1 on a percentile die is 1 in a million. You're absolutely right. And I think if we roll that, we get to draw the boule, Tom. I think it's done. I think your viewers and your fans would agree.
All right. So here's the actual boule entry here.
Yes.
And as viewers at home, they know the boule is based on one of the actual original D&D monsters. Do you have one handy?
I got one handy. The toy. It was inspired by little plastic dime store toys. You got yours, Tom, handy?
Got mine. Let's make them fight.
There it is. There's yours. I've got mine. I feel like we're connected. The universe just connected us. Yes. If you have a plastic boule at home, make sure you take it out and shake it. I'm going to draw it like this one, the old school.
Okay, I'll get my
weird. They're called Chinasaur sometimes, Tom, right? So I'll try to draw a Chinasaur version of the boule.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, can Tony draw 1 before I draw 10? We'll find out. On your marks, get set. Let's rumble.
All right, I'm gonna go with a Sharpie on this. So Boule's a big monster, so I feel like a nice heavy ink line will only do, Tom. So Tom, did you have those toys when you were a kid?
Yeah, I think this is my original boule. I definitely had the Rust Monster. Yep. He was kicking around for a long time.
It's a strange, I wrote a blog entry about it years ago that kind of got picked up by a lot of outlets, which was really kind of humored me. I mean, like, to see IO9 pick up my blog post about, a bunch of dime store toys and my deep geeky love of Dungeons and Dragons. That was pretty funny, But Tim Kask, who worked at TSR back then, and was the editor for Dragon Magazine, was responsible for creating some of these too. And the story goes, I had talked to Tim about this, and Gary had bought the bag at like a local dollar store, and they were playing D&D, and he had all these toys out, and he gave the toys to Tim and said, can you turn these in, write up stats for them and make them into monsters? And so he was saying that the land shark was also they were watching a lot of Saturday Night Live, and the Chevy Chase land shark skit was super popular, and that was also how they came up with it.
That's awesome, man.
Right? That's kind of funny.
Oh man, you got to beat me. I've only got 4 of them done. I'm gonna try to shift it into turbo speed here.
Well, I've got some detailing still to do.
I'm trying to learn how to simplify them down to 1 or 2 lines.
I had the opportunity to illustrate Boulay for the Monsters Manual in 1992. Remember that? 1992? Remember that?
Well, I wasn't born then, but I'll take your word for it. Oh man, that's amazing! Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh man, I gotta hurry. I'm trying to get it down to where it's 1 line.
Wow, like one kind of calligraphic line?
No, just one scribbled line, Tony.
I failed to remember it before, but you're like an Ed Emberley. You are able to take a complicated form and simplify it into these kind of basic shapes, and that was so important in how I learned to draw. I love those Ed Emberley books. Were you a big fan?
Ed Emberley is the greatest, absolutely the greatest. I really didn't think of myself as an artist anymore for a long time until a few years ago. I got out Ed Emberley and really started cranking through them, and it really reminded me of just when it was fun to draw, when I wasn't so worried about stuff. And it is life changing to read those books as a kid and as an adult.
Yeah. I mean, even he was able to do so many different things that I also, it wasn't just the things that it wasn't how he was approaching how to draw. It was also the subject matter. I felt like he was really tuned in. Like I remember specifically the dinosaur book and the monster book I had, but there was a Halloween one he did that I loved.
Yes, I think that's the Book of Weirdos.
And it would start like really, really simple and get more and more complicated. I just love those books growing up. So it's such a great thing. So Tom, I drew some little birds on them, little, like, I don't know, tick birds or whatever they are.
Nice. You've got a whole ecosystem going for them.
Yeah. I'm assuming a Boulay would be riddled with parasites and ticks and who knows what else. So there he is, one Boulay.
Oh, Tony, that's gorgeous. That's gorgeous. Here's my 10. I got 10. One of them is eating, the one with glasses.
I love it.
One of them is in a car. I think
course.
this is the best one. I
love that one.
Really had that simplified.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Do you find you're simplifying it, the more you're drawing it, the more you're figuring out how to turn it into like a letter Z or a number 2 or whatever you were using as your...
Right. Yeah, I mean, I definitely, by the end I had it in line up, two beaks.
Yep.
Around the back, the little horn thing, and then a squiggle here, couple legs, some eyes.
Awesome.
That's not the best one, but
I want a Tom Angleberger and Ed Emberley inspired book of how to draw your favorite D&D monsters. That needs to exist in the world.
It doesn't exist, Tony. That's why we have Tom and Tony's Monster Manual Jam, so people can tune in and learn how to draw either like this or like that, like you did.